First and foremost, if you clicked on this video hoping to have your personal feelings vindicated about what is the problem with girl gamers, guess what? You are the problem. So go ahead and click on that dislike button on your way out. Also, feel free to leave a nasty comment. It lets me know that calling you out on your chauvinistic, narrow-minded way of thinking made you uncomfortable, as it should. So don't let the virtual door hit you on the way out. At this point, now that we've taken out the trash, let's jump into the real topic at hand, the problem with how the gaming community treats female gamers. Let me be clear, I cannot speak on this topic from an expert standpoint as an individual who has been on the receiving end of said treatment, but I can speak from the perspective of someone who has witnessed such despicable behavior countless times and finds it unacceptable. I can speak from the male perspective to my fellow brethren with a message that we need to do better. I speak from the perspective of a father to two beautiful girls who I love to share my passion and hobby with the hopes that one day they will also have the same love and adoration that I do for gaming and can partake in gaming absent of the problems that currently plague the community. I bring in the perspective of an ally. Thank you for being with me at Enter Cheat Code. Let's jump into this topic that so desperately needs to be discussed. While this problem with the treatment of women in games is more reflective of a deeper rooted societal issue, I am going to keep the conversation very focused in the realm of gaming, as exploring the historical injustices and mentalities against women in this country would take several videos, and we're here to talk about games and the game industry. Gaming is the purest form of art to ever exist. It encompasses all expressive elements such as acting, visuals, stories, music, and unique to gaming, interactivity, and immersion. As a result of gaming being the perfect art form, it reaches a monumental audience of individuals with over 2 billion gamers worldwide. Many people are still under the false pretense that the 2 billion gamers spoken of are men, and this just isn't accurate. Over the years, the gender ratio gap between gamers has constantly closed, and surveys conducted in 2010 have revealed that women make up around half of all gamers. The moniker girl gamer alone has had a negative stigma attached to it, being hurled around within the community as a derogatory term or insult. The phrase has been reappropriated by the female gaming community, an act that has been used historically with all types of derogatory terms and slurs used against a group of people. With female gamers making up half the community, rising to be some of the most successful streamers and even most elite players, how and why is the mistreatment of female gamers such a pervasive issue? To articulate the point, let's examine some of the forms of mistreatment that female gamers are subjected to on a daily basis, especially those who partake in this hobby within the public sphere, be it sharing on social media, streaming, or simply playing online with a mic on. A streamer by the name of Leviathan was told in the comments to get cancer and die. She was even subjected to sexual assault and death threats. All of this occurring as a result of promoting a game. Yes, while many streamers and public figures in the gaming realm can relate to similar harassment at the hands of trolls, these types of behaviors plague women disproportionately higher than male counterparts. The scandal known as GamerGate is a great example of the perception and treatment of women within the industry as a whole. GamerGate started as one thing and continued to devolve into many other things. Ultimately, it highlighted the mistreatment of women gamers and female game developers within the industry. It all began with a claim from a disgruntled ex-partner that a female game developer exchanged sex in an attempt to advance her career and receive coverage for her game. What started out as a question of the ethics of journalism and journalistic integrity would culminate exclusively on an attack on women in the game industry. Anonymous hackers would dox this game developer, searching and publishing private identifying information and home addresses for malicious purposes, and even leak her nudes. Sexual assault and death threats were made that were so specific and real she had to leave her home. This movement would put many prominent females in the industry in the crossfire. 4 of those individuals being Zoe Quinn, Anita Sarkeesian, Jen Frank, and Maddie Bryce. The harassment would drive game journalist Jen Frank and game designer Maddie Bryce to leave the industry as a whole, citing harassment and death threats that came as a result of GamerGate-related backlash. What started out as a question of the ethics of game journalism, which is a legitimate topic to explore, would devolve into a sexist and misogynistic attack against females in the game development industry and female gamers as a whole. GamerGate shed light on such a serious issue that plagues the community on a macro level. Let's examine some of the female gamer experiences on the micro level. It is unimaginable how many female gamers play online games with their headset on and microphone turned off. This is not a result of antisocial behavior, but a defense mechanism to protect oneself from the onslaught of harassment that ensues when party members find out you are a gamer girl. You do not need to look far within Reddit to see countless posts representative of this claim, with posts that read, "Every time I go on a mic as a female gamer, I get messages like this." Or, "Why can't I just leave my mic on and play a game?" Or, "Why I rarely turn my mic on," and finally, "I am never turning my mic on ever again." I think the point has been sufficiently made. This is a problem. The insults vary from trash talk to threats of severe bodily harm and sexual assault. While gaming is meant to be a safe haven for expression, escapism, and an outlet for stress relief, it has become a place that women must take extra steps that male counterparts don't often take in an attempt to protect and shield themselves. If for a second you doubt the things that I say, do as I have in creating this video and simply ask them about their experiences in online gaming. This is a very real problem, which was very recently highlighted with the announcement of the now cancelled game titled Gamer Girl. The thriller game aimed to simulate the life of a female streamer who is faced with constant harassment from internet trolls. The developer makes the claim that this was meant to educate gamers. While I do think educating people of the issue is important, many felt that putting this in a game would be perceived for entertainment purposes and would trivialize and sensationalize a very real problem that plagues so many. Twitter user WhatMelody wrote, "If you support the gamer girl, you are turning a blind eye to actual female streamers who experience actual harassment from actual people. This is not a game. These are our lives and real experiences." The developers responded to this backlash in the following tweet. "The reason why we created the game was to raise the issue of the toxic environment which can appear online behind the anonymity of a username, and how the support of a moderator can help. It's real and it's still happening every day." This is a matter of intentions versus impact. I always say, it doesn't matter what your intentions are. It boils down to how your actions impacted individuals. This development team may have had every good intention under the sun to utilize their platform as a way to shed light on a major issue in the gaming community and promote change. The same intentions I have in posting this video. Being an ally to a cause that does not directly impact you, whether it's the treatment of female gamers, equal rights for LGBTQ, or even the Black Lives Matter movement, can be tricky to navigate. You need to know when to be quiet and listen, when it's appropriate to speak up, and what kinds of personal action to take. Following the lead of the organizers of these movements is often a good place to start. Also, being responsive to the way your actions are perceived, despite your best of intentions. The Gamer Girl project would ultimately be cancelled, something that I would like to note that I am not in favor of or against, as cancel culture is a dangerous path to go down. While we have thoroughly shed a light on the issue, How can we begin to tackle such a monumental problem that truly spawns from a society that has favored men over women for 200 years? I won't begin to try and address how America as a country needs to move forward to address gross issues of inequality like the pay gap and so much more. As promised, I will keep this topic with a focus on the gaming community and industry as a whole and its treatment of female gamers and developers. First and foremost, personal ownership of your behavior and your actions. Do not partake in the sexist and derogatory banter that takes place on the mic, and do not tolerate it as well. Shut it down immediately so that the offenders in question knows that they are not entertaining anyone in the room, as oftentimes these offenders feed off the approving laughter and support they get with similar comments made. Game developers can include more realistic female representations that do not sexualize and objectify women, removing many of the exclusively female barriers that women face in entering the game development industry. More representation within the industry will culminate in projects that portray and characterize women as they should be. Games with female leads made by female developers. What a crazy thought, right? Take individual onus on this matter. Despite the age-old cliche, it still reigns true. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. I want to be very clear about something. I am not perfect. I do not stand on my soapbox and make the claim that I have all the answers. Can I sit here and say that I have never made a sexist or misogynistic comment in my life? Not in good conscience. Have I put thoughts and words in the universe not reflective of who I am today? Absolutely. What I am looking to do is grow and develop as a human being, something that I encourage all of us to do, which is why I made this video. I will remind you, in order for people to grow and develop, we must allow them to. Cancel culture, mob mentality, and social media character assassination have put us in a place where we want people to change and don't allow them to. Teach and educate and allow people to grow into better human beings. I wish that I could say that I was more open-minded and enlightened to matters as discussed today sooner, that it didn't take me having daughters to realize how bad things were. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, so here I am, better late than never. I will do my best to listen and take action where appropriate. I encourage each and every one of you to do the same. Remember, you can't demand change and then not allow people to do so. I hope that I have used my platform in a way that can make a difference, that I have lived up to my closing phrase, with great power comes great responsibility. Please let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on this matter. I hope that you enjoyed this content. Please like, share, and subscribe. Grow and develop as a person and allow people forgiveness. Allow them to change and become allies. Until next time.